Hi everybody, today we're going to do a quick tutorial on easy undone beachy waves. Now I did this maybe a year and a half ago and it was a little more springy and bouncy, and what you're seeing now is much more of an undone, dry, slept on looking vibe. So it's shifted actually a little bit. So what you're going to need is a flat iron. This is just a classic 1-inch flat iron with ceramic plates, and then about 1.5 or 1.25 curling iron. I have already prepped my hair with my Wella Elements leave-in conditioner. I put in through my mid-lengths and ends 2 pumps of the Wella Luxe oil, giving that a whirl lately. And then I also, while it was still damp, before I power dried it, which is where we're at now, I put in a little bit of the Davines sea salt spray. Then I went through and power dried my hair, and by power dry I mean max used my fingers and a blow dryer. I'd spray some of these front pieces a little bit using my fingers and the blow dryer. That's it. I did not use a brush or anything like that. Power drying really is just referring to taking out moisture from the hair to prep it. And honestly, it's a really good basis to have kind of your natural, undone, not perfect hair texture as a base. So let's get started. So starting off with sectioning, I'm working with this off-center part today, and from kind of my center crown to like ear to ear, I'm gonna section off my front sides. Just kind of clip those away. It honestly helps so much just to get those puppies out of the way so that you're left with just that back. And since the style is undone, these sections can be undone as well. So you're left with that. And what we're going to do with this back section is divide it roughly in half as well and clip the top away. Alright, now that we have this underneath back section ready to go, let's get started. So I am going to still be curling away from my face. This back section, honestly, with the hair density that I have, I'm only going to do like 3 sections. It's not supposed to be perfect. If you go smaller than that, you could end up having like coily looking hair, or very bouncy curls, and that's just not what we're going through. So you're going to want to comb through the section, and when you're curling these sections, make sure to curl away from your face and leave out maybe 1 inch, 1.5 or 2 of those ends. It's very important. That's what gives the shape a little more of that undone look. And then use that spring and release. And go on to the next section. So yeah, this back section, we're just doing 3 loose sections. Do your comb through, comb away from your face, roll it up kind of halfway up the strand first, then release a little bit, recurl, release a little bit, recurl. So what that's going to do is not put too much unneeded heat on the ends of your hair. The ends of your hair are so much more delicate and fragile, and especially in a look like this, you can preserve them by curling your hair that way. When you curl more with the root first in mind with a curling iron, it's going to give you more volume at the root, a little more lift, and more staying power. And that's honestly how stylists do it. So that's going to give you a little more professional look, even if you're doing this at home. Alright, so let's take that last section in the back, comb it through, get your curling iron in there, make sure to leave out some of those ends. And we're good to go. So now we're going to drop this top section, and we're also going to work that in a section of 3 as well, kind of taking pie-shaped pieces. I'll show you this way. Kind kind of jiggity jaggedy pie shaped pieces in that crown. But just so that we're dividing it in 3 sections is totally fine. If you had thicker hair, you could do 4 to 5 sections, but I want it to be kind of loose and just be some soft beachy body. So we're just gonna do 3 sections. Keep it easy. There's honestly no reason to overcomplicate this. The look is supposed to be undone. So let's go. Still curling away from your face, leaving the ends out. And let's go. I am like touching it lightly just to touch the heat so that we don't overdo our strands. But be careful with that. I don't want no burns. Not on my watch. Poor little raggedy ends. Section. All right, now on to these sides. So with the sides, we're gonna once again divide them in half and work this underneath section. I'm actually gonna do a little bit farther up in that section. I don't have, and a lot of people kind of have this problem, a lot of hair in this ear area. So if you take that section a little higher up, it's totally fine. But everybody's hair is placed so differently around their heads, you kind of have to personalize with that. So we're going to take this and we're just going to divide this section into 2. Now I am doing like a zigzagging motion with my parting, and I'm just using my finger. Now that our hair is all curled, we're going to wait just a couple of minutes to let them cool. They're still kind of warm, so I don't want to go in and mess them up right now. I will say I do feel like it's going to be a little curly for my taste. So what I'm going to do is plug in my flat iron right now, and I'm going to hit some of those ends. So while your hair is curling, go on and get your flat iron ready. All right, now that our curls have cooled, what I'm going to do with the flat iron, which is on the lowest temperature setting possible, a lot of flat irons don't have a temperature setting, so you really just want to make sure you're using a light hand with it. But all we're going to do is take a few of these ends, and not the whole section. We're not undoing all of the sections, just a few, so there's a little bit of that random straight texture. popping out. So I'm gonna pull just a few random ends from my layers, bop them with the flat iron, and we'll be good to go. All right, so hitting your ends with the flat iron has kind of a dual purpose. One, it'll make your style a little more undone, but also if you're someone like me that kind of has ends that haven't been so loved and they're a little dry and need a little heat to seal them in, the flat iron will help you out with that. So it's a nice way for your hair to have a little bit more of that shine in it, but still be kind of a controlled undone. So what we're gonna do now is flip our head over and then spray a bit of the Untitled Caviar Perfect Texture Finishing Spray. This is a combination of like a dry texturizing spray and a hairspray. If you don't have a product like this, you could use a hair powder or a dry shampoo would also give you a similar texture. So let's flip it up. Alright. Now you may want to go in and kind of separate some of those curls even still. Sweep it away from your face. And there we go. Good to go. Nice, messy, undone, beachy, modern waves. So I hope you enjoyed this look. If you have any other questions about this style or how to achieve it, throw them down in the comments down below, and I hope you enjoyed. Have a great day.